Hi, my name is Brandon and I'm the marketing manager here at buuteeq, and I figured we'd start a new section of the blog called Questions with Brandon. I haven't really decided exactly what I want to call it yet. Maybe it's Friday's Questions and Answers, I don't know. You guys could give me good tips for a new name if you want. But basically, questions that you guys have about digital marketing, search engine optimization, social media, anything in general, and I'm happy to do the research and provide the answers to you. So for this episode, we're going to go over the questions that were asked during the webinar earlier this week. The webinar was on Google Penguin, which was a recent addition by Google. Google released a search algorithm update called Penguin, where they're trying to combat spammers, people who are deliberately trying to manipulate Google and their search algorithm. And many people are concerned about it, and so I figured I would host a webinar and answer your questions based on what we've learned about Google Penguin to date. So the first question is a good one, and it says, are blog feeds that publish to Facebook considered duplicate content? And this is a great question. Many people are concerned about duplicate content because they think that Google is going to de-index their site or penalize them if somebody steals their content and publishes it somewhere else. And that's patently false. That doesn't happen. Google has, on a number of occasions, said that there is no duplicate content penalty. And the reason for this is because you can't control it, right? No website in the world can control who copies their content or who publishes their content. And one of the reasons that this isn't a big issue is because many blogs have RSS feeds, and that's what we're talking about in this question. An RSS feed is it's a feed that people can subscribe to. They can publish it in Google Reader or whatever they're using to read RSS feeds, or they could even publish it on blogs. In this instance, they're wanting to publish their blog to their Facebook profile. And it's not going to hurt your website's SEO in any way. Google is really good at seeing who is the first person to publish the content. They know when you first published your blog, when you first published that post on your feed, and they're going to give you full credit for it. They don't penalize you. What happens is they try and see who was the first one to publish it, and they simply raise that one in the search results. So if you've got 15 different pieces of content that are exactly the same, Google's going to find the one that was published first or has the highest authority, and they'll simply put that one higher in the search results. They're not going to penalize all of them. They'll just give precedence to one. The next question is about Penguin specifically, and this individual actually was penalized by Google during the Penguin update. They were first for their selected keywords on the search engine before Penguin, and then after Penguin they became the 22nd to 24th listing. And this is really tragic to hear. Nobody wants to see that. What happened is, and I don't know their specific story on this, but many people who have contracted SEO agencies in the past got results that were fairly dubious in nature. What many people thought were white hat techniques ended up being gray hat techniques, very close to black hat techniques, which Google may penalize you for. And this includes exact match anchor text, exact match domains, keyword stuffing in anchor text, a whole bunch of things. I've got a list of things to watch out for on the blog, buuteeq.com/blog/English. If you want to check it out there. But her question is, how does she get back into the first page of Google results for her selected keywords? And the answer is that you can't. There's no way that you can forcibly get yourself back to the position where you were. It's up to Google. It's their product. They can decide who is ranking for whatever keywords that they choose. Now, what you can do is you can change everything about your site that Google may be penalizing you for in terms of the Penguin update. So go through your link profile, your backlink profile. If there are low quality sites that are linking to you, or link farms, or comment blog farms, contact them and say, please remove any links you've got to me. If there are too many people linking to you using exact match anchor text, which we're going to cover in a bit, ask them to change the anchor text a little bit. There are a number of different things you can do. Again, those are on the blog. Once you do all of those things, there's a form that Google has released allowing you to submit your website for review. And they'll review it, and if they think that you are no longer doing those gray hat techniques, then they may restore your previous listing or give you a new listing based on the current SEO structure of your website. How do I see my backlinks? Great question. There's a fantastic tool that I like to use. It's called Open Site Explorer, and I'll show it to you real quick over here. can probably see it better on this screen, so we'll do that. It's run by the fine folks at SEO Moz here in Seattle, and you can see like 50 or so of your backlinks for free. There is a paid version, which is what I use, but there are other tools that you can use, which I've linked from the blog post. One is called Ahrefs, A-H-R-E-F-S, I believe is how it's spelled. And then if you are synced with Google Webmaster Tools, you can actually see your entire backlink profile from Google Webmaster Tools, and that's completely free. So whatever tool you want to use, there are a number of ways that you can check the backlinks that currently point to your website. The next question is, I've heard that Google doesn't like it when you link to a website that links to you. Is this true? The answer is yes, kind of, and no, kind of. Now, the reasoning behind this, I'll explain how Google tends to look at backlinks in general. So what Google does is they see a website pointing to you, and they think, wow, you, the original source and author of that content, must have produced something so amazing and so compelling that these people were in awe of your content. And so they linked to it because they found it so fascinating. So we are going to take the authority of this website and convey it onto you because they're linking to you. Great, you've got the authority from that backlink. But if you link back to them, you now have two links pointing at each other. And Google's going to say, oh, wait a minute, so maybe they're friends, or maybe they know each other, or maybe they did some sort of backlink exchanging deal. Okay, well, that's still a backlink, that's still great, but we're not going to give as much authority to either of you because of that backlink. And the reason for that is because they want to combat spam. One of the techniques that Black Hat SEO people have done in the past is they've created networks of websites, 50 to 60 websites that are all linking to each other. And they're hoping that by doing so, all of these hundreds of thousands of backlinks will push all of those websites up in Google ranking, and thereby they'll snag the first position. But Google has caught on to this. They're incredibly intelligent. They combat this stuff every day. And when they find people cross-linking to each other in hundreds of thousands of cases, they will not rank those highly. But now that's said, that doesn't mean that you can't link to somebody who links to you. If you're doing it on a small basis, or if you're just trying to give credit to somebody who has done credit to you, then that's a really good and healthy thing. Like, let's say that there's a tour agency in your local area that provides riverboat rafting tours or something, and you have created a promotion with them and your property. You link to them because they're doing the tour. They link to you because they're sending people to stay at your property. That's organic, that's natural, it's not going to hurt you. Really, the only time cross-linking like that is going to hurt you in any way or devalue your link exchange is if you're doing it on in hundreds of thousands of links, if you're really doing a whole lot of them. So I wouldn't worry about it that much. And then the last one is exactly how much should I worry about exact match anchor text? You need to worry about it a little bit, but not too much. So the way it worked is that Google has decided to rank a website according to the exact match anchor text, or to the anchor text that is pointing to that website. And the reasoning goes like this. If I create a website about red widgets, and then somebody who owns a website that I can't control links to my website using anchor text that say red widgets, Google makes the connection, oh, people who aren't related to this website are still saying that they are an authority on red widgets. So we're going to rank them for the keywords red widgets. That is why people in the SEO community have been saying, if you're going to be soliciting backlinks, try and get backlinks with anchor text that exactly matches what you do. Now, this has been common knowledge and good SEO wisdom for a very long time. And because of that, many people, even people thinking that they have been doing white hat SEO, have been telling their clients, go and get as many links as you can with exact match anchor text for your targeted keywords, whether it's SeattleBedandBreakfast.com or Philadelphia Inns and Suites or whatever. Whatever your money keyword is, they're saying that that should be the exact match anchor text. Well, now that Penguin has been released, Google is onto it, and they're no longer allowing you to do that. Not that you can't do that, of course, because it's your website and you can do whatever you want. Google can't say what you can or cannot do, but the way that they have built their search engine is they're going to penalize or give preference to people who go by their rules. So then that leads us back to the question, exactly how many of my backlinks should or should not have exact match anchor text? Many people in the SEO community, they don't know the exact numbers, they don't know the algorithm that Google has come up with, but they say that, look, if 60% or more of your backlink profile is exact match anchor text, then Google is going to see that and say, wow, so really 60% of everybody in the world that is linked to your website is using the exact same keyword that you're hoping to rank for? That's kind of a big flag I think that's a little suspicious. Maybe I'm not going to rank you quite as highly for that keyword as you were hoping. If, however, you only have, say, 15 to 20 to 25% of your backlink profile is exact match, and everything else is something safe, like your brand name, your domain name, the word here, because many people will say, click here to see yada yada yada, those are all pretty safe, they're innocuous. If only 20 to 25% of your backlink profile is exact match, then Google's going to say, oh, well, yeah, people are pointing to him, but there are a lot of people pointing for other words as well, so these are probably pretty safe words that we can rank them for. So that's probably how many people are thinking Google, now that Penguin has been released, is using exact match anchor text. So should you worry about it? A little bit. It's not the end of the world. I would say, look, your job is not to find a ton of backlinks in the world. Your job is to rank naturally on Google, if as a hotel marketer this is your goal for SEO. And the best way you can do that is just form relationships, contact people, make real life friendships. Don't just try and find a one-trick pony that gets you thousands of backlinks. That's not going to help anymore now that Google is on to everybody for this. Form real relationships, guest blog, give them good content so that they link to you. These are great natural ways that you can get organic backlinks. So that's it for this week's episode of Questions for Brandon, and feel free to send me any questions that you'd like answered at brandon@buuteeq.com, and I will do my very best to answer them in next week's video.